Your buddy Mike Messier, very special surprise, surprise, surprise. What's in the bag? Followed by a little Moxley CM Punk thoughts. This is a rant. If you happen to be new to this, subscribe to Mike Messier YouTube channel. Where the hell have you been? But if you're not new, you know the deal. I open something, I discuss it, and then I discuss other things. And if you happen to be watching in live time, you're more than welcome to leave a comment, and I can address it right here in live time. So let's start with very exciting. The weather is turning. It's a little more mild than it was the last time I did one of these. So someone's just joined in. We're having the what's in the bag. Very exciting. Size 3XL. So this was an eBay purchase. $5. First of all, I'm happy they got my size correct. 3XL. I paid $5.35 with tax on eBay for this mystery shirt, and it's fair enough. It's fine. It's a WWE shirt. You know, I'm not a huge WWE fan anymore, but it's Fandango, and it looks like it's actually a tank top. So now I can go dancing with my arms flapping in the wind. I'm satisfied with this purchase. This was trying to put the shirt on properly. Now, of course, I'm wearing two shirts on top of each other. That's not particularly good. How's it going? Very good to see you, Valerie. Thank you. And appreciate that. Now I'm going to take the sticker off. I don't want to be arrested for sticker shock. Now this looks a little bit obnoxious. Now, for our wrestling fans in the audience, I am actually watching this court resumes life or death for this Parkland killer, this murderer. And just a little aside, if I were to be a guy basically either facing death or life in prison, I'd take death myself. So this is my opinion. Very attractive judge in this case, by the way. This Parkland killer judge. Now, I did watch AEW last night. Moxley versus what's his name, Punk, in the interviews, the promos. Hello, David. Hello, Valeri. So what did I think? Looks like they might be announcing this decision here on this dude. Are they going to kill him or not? They're going to kill him? I mean, the announcers are so excited about the possibility of killing this guy. And I can't really argue with that because he's a scumbag and probably deserves to die. Like I said, I'd rather, if I were him, which I'm not, I'd rather be killed than rot in prison. Hey, David, what's going on, buddy? So last night, if you saw AEW, I know you're in Australia, David, but if you do see the replay, or if you haven't seen it, or you want to see it, or you did see it, I was pretty impressed. I was pretty sold. Nice of Punk and nice of AEW to get Ace Steel some promo time. Kind of one of those wrestlers that I think he was in the Delaware 8 Cup, the Cruiser Cup, or whatever it was called, the Big 8 or the Delaware thing. I think he was a regular in that. Ace Steel I'm talking about. Early 2000s guy who never became a superstar in pro wrestling. But last night on AEW, he had his 5 minutes of fame as kind of the Mickey, the coach, to pep up CM Punk. Wouldn't it be interesting if Ace Steel turns on CM Punk at that pay-per-view on Sunday in Chicago? Here's why I'm thinking this, because I'd like to see, just me, I really don't like the 50-50 booking. Most wrestling fans don't, which one guy wins a match and the other guy wins the rematch. If that's what happens on Sunday, if CM Punk wins this battle with John Moxley and walks out with the title, it's 50-50 booking. You know, over the course of 10 days, we've seen one guy win and the other guy wins. So you're kind of just even Steven. The wrestlers tend to like that. It's a good political move for the wrestling company to do something like that. But to me, it's kind of lazy booking. What I'd rather see is some type of swerve, some type of screw job. Ace Steel causes his buddy CM Punk to lose the match and lose his claim to the world championship. And I mean, I don't know if you could do a CM Punk Ace Steel match. If Ace Steel is up for a match, he looks like he's in fairly good shape. But just something to avoid the traditional stereotypical 50-50 booking. You beat me, I beat you, and we're all happy. I just don't see that as being terribly entertaining unless they have a really great match, and that's usually what it comes down to. You can justify any type of storyline or bad booking if the actual match is pretty good or very good. Then you're more forgiving. Understand? What else can I talk about? I did watch the National Wrestling Alliance 2-night spectacular. I watched in fruition, including the YouTube matches, and those were very good. And I will be discussing those. I'll be doing a whole video about the NWA show this past week, the 74th anniversary. Nick Aldis wrestling my friend and my buddy, Flip Gordon. A good match. And there were some other matches, of course. The main event, you had the first night main event actually was Camille versus Tyra Valkyrie. I like that match a lot. And then you had the big boys, Trevor Murdoch and Tyrus, actually a better match than I thought. I wouldn't put it past Tony Khan to go down the 50-50 booking route, Mikey. Yeah, and I agree, David. And that's not that I'm fearful. I mean, I'm not going to, stay up at night crying or worrying about this. And if it does happen that CM Punk wins the match on Sunday, I'm not going to, burn my AEW T-shirt collection to the ground or anything. It will just be kind of routine as people are texting me with excitement. But it's just like I can't control everything. I certainly can't control the narrative, so to speak, as EC3 would say, of this pay-per-view. But it looks like a pretty good stacked card. And I think that they did do a nice kind of last-minute strong push. The Jungle Boy Christian thing with Jim Ross was pretty good last night. I thought that was a good little promo, nice, quick to the point. And here's Adam. Adam's been a pretty hardcore wrestling fan for a lot of years, and he chimes in with the AEW Championship belt has suffered over the past year. Feel like it's been in the background. Let me address this point because it's a good one. That world, what's it called? The one that Pac has, that AEW, whatever the fuck title, the AEW world title or the All Atlantic Championship. The problem that people don't realize, and they should, because it's really simple math. If you have 5 championships, each one is diminished by 20% of if you had 1 championship. So when you have a world title and then you have a US title or an intercontinental title or a TNT title or a television title, national title, NWA this past weekend added United States Tag Team title to their divisions. It's too many titles. I mean, if you watch the NFL, which most of us probably do, no one sits there and talks about who's going to win the division next year. Oh, the Patriots going to win the division? Nobody gets excited about the division. I mean, 50 or 60 years ago, 100 years ago, people would get excited about winning the pennant in baseball because if you won the pennant, you would get to go to the World Series. There was really no tournament per se. It was just you win the regular season like men and you go to the fucking World Series. But even that now, baseball is watered down. These wild card games and so forth. I agree, bro. Seems like it's going slightly mid-card, wouldn't you say? Yeah, very much so. You're agreeing with Adam, I believe, and myself. And I feel like the other thing, Adam and Dave and anyone else, Valeria, if you're still with us, I don't like this interim championship thing. I think this interim championship thing is just dumb. You're basically just saying, hey, well, here's our title, but the champion's not available, so here's the second best guy. And then the second best guy may or may not beat the champion that's injured. It just seems like a long-winded approach to just vacating the title and having a new champion. If you want to say something like, hey, the current champion has a match in hand, he's injured, but he gets an immediate rematch upon reactivation, that's fine. But I think the whole interim title thing was trying to be more realistic, trying to be more like UFC, because UFC's been doing interim champions for a couple of years or several years. I just don't like them with anybody. Anything to say about the rumor? RVD has signed with AEW. He is facing Dante Martin at September 7th at some show at the Mall of America. Look, I don't want to put anything past a guy like RVD. I know he keeps himself in tremendous shape, and he has the young, vibrant girlfriend who shakes her ass for everybody's enjoyment. But to be honest, I'll believe it when I see it. I mean, I think it was 10 years ago, 2011-ish. Rob Van Dam, I remember seeing him lose pretty cleanly to Alberto Del Rio on WWE Raw one night, and he didn't seem to have much left. I mean, no offense to RVD, but his style is so athletically based that in 1997, when he was considerably younger, as we all were, he could do all these things. Now, 25 years later, is he still amazing for his age? Sure. But does that mean he can hang with these young guys? I don't know. Maybe. I was watching that 6-man tag with Kenny Omega, and it's like he's wearing this long sleeve shirt when he's wrestling. He's covering up all these injuries. And it looks like he's kind of allowing Will Ospreay to do all the flips and stuff that he used to do, meaning Kenny. And he's just doing some power suplexes just to keep up with the kid. So I don't know. That's the problem with the high flying style, is that it's not going to work when you're 50, and RVD is about 50. Do I have anything to say about the rumor, Adam? I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, they brought in Jeff Hardy, and look, from AEW's perspective, anytime you can get a person with name value into your promotion for a bargain financially, we'll see. What do you think Who do you think were the 4 AEW wrestlers contacted by WWE? Well, I didn't know that the number was 4, but let me guess. I mean, I would guess probably number 1 on everyone's lips would be MJF. That seems like a given. You might think Jade Cargill, if I'm saying Jade's name right. She's probably number 2 because she has a great look and she's a powerhouse, and she could go toe-to-toe with Charlotte or anybody. And I'm sure that they would just love to put her in NXT and have her work with everybody there and get more WWE styled and then go on to the main roster. So I think probably Jade Cargill is number 2. I can see Brian Pillman Jr. I mean, I think he'd be a dark horse, but he's a guy who's been underused by AEW, to be honest. Yeah, so what's up, buddy? My good friend Cody here from the Messier Mantra production. Hope you're doing well, Mike. I think AEW is still going through growing pains. Needs more logic and consistency, in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, but I have to say, though, I mean, they do have their own logic. I think that if you're trying to hold them to the standard of, I mean, see, WWE hasn't been the standard of WWE in 5 or 10 years. But if you're thinking of WWE logic from the early 2000s, like the Triple H Rock feud, stuff like that, I don't know if AEW's still up to par with that, or WWE is either. But yeah, they're still going through growing pains, and things like my friend Tommy uses the term "stick the landing." They've had some real problems sticking the landing, with such as that Blood and Guts match that I was at, the 2021 one with the Inner Circle and Jericho's team, or Jericho against MJF's team, the Pinnacle versus the Inner Circle. The whole Blood and Guts thing was pretty great until the ending, when you see, just the botchiness of the ending, Jericho going through a bunch of pillows or cushions or whatever. They're showing these stick figures, I guess, drawn by this kid, this kid that killed everybody. What a nut. But anyway, I don't know. I feel like AEW to me is what I would invest my time more into than AEW. Let me go back to the question, Adam. I did get distracted because I wanted to stall for time. So let's say MJF, Jade Cargill, Brian Pillman Jr. Maybe an obvious would be Britt Baker, because she doesn't have a title right now. I'm sure that they would be interested. But who's someone else? I guess that'll be my 4 choices if I were to predict, and I'm thinking that there's definitely somebody else that I'm forgetting. Many people, I'm sure, but I'm sure WWE, and I don't know if that's going to get any type of legal injunction for, uh, contact. What do you call it? Contract tampering. While I've got your attention, I might just go ahead and do another "What's in the Bag." I don't know if you can handle it, folks. Um, should we do another "What's in the Bag"? Should we? Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down if you want another "What's in the Bag." If not, that's okay. As a matter of fact, folks, I think I'll hold on to this for the next round. We'll save that for the next time. But Cody, Adam, Valeri, David, thanks for checking in, and feel free to share this video. Do you want one? Do you want one, folks? Do you want another "What's in the Bag"? Are you desperate? Are you hungry? Are you thirsty? Am I? Oh, I got the scissors. Okay, you talked me into it. You talked me into it, folks. I didn't think we were going to do this, but we're going to do it. We are going to do this. We're going to see what's in the envelope. Special bonus. This is for free. You didn't pay for this. It's all exciting. Luckily, I have this pair of scissors. Adam's very excited. Okay, folks. Everyone's excited. If you want to put your guesses in for what it is, put your guesses in now. This is all the way from Susan Penny in Rowley, Massachusetts. Please don't go to her home and bother her because I just want to respect her privacy. I didn't give her a full address, but maybe I gave too much info. Another eBay purchase. I'm going to gently cut the envelope so I can get the purchase, the product out of here properly. I could have just ripped the thing, I guess, but I forgot that's how these things work until right now. That's okay. I did not damage the material. And so I'll even allow you to see what's going on first. Oh, look at this. Very interesting. Sports Review Wrestling, folks. What's in the bag? Very exciting. Apartment Wrestling. That match that set Apartment Wrestling ablaze, which is actually how Alundra Blaze got her name. She read this article. Ric Flair versus Dick Slater, the champions hold on the NWA title weakens. Will the Piper Rich feud destroy Georgia wrestling? Very exciting. It was not an autographed Wardlow picture, but good guess. Look at this, $1.50. Really, I mean, that's not what I paid. I paid a few bucks. But in August of 1982, if you paid $1.50, when I started reading these wrestling magazines, David and Adam and everybody, Cody, they were up to wrestling album number 5. So this like wrestling album 4 is slightly before my time with the magazines. Oh God, look at this. The blackheads. The blackheads. I got the blackheads. Get the blackheads. Supposed to put this like film on your face. Yeah, definitely some good articles. The ratings, always fun to go to the ratings page. Let's see, I'm trying to show this to you properly. The problem is like I'm doing everything backwards. The tag teams, Mr. Fuji and Mr. Saito, Ken Patera, Crusher Blackwell, Pedro. You can it's hard for me to watch and do this at the same time. Ivan Putski, that's who the picture was. Here's your WWF top 10. This is like Nikita and Barry Scala would like this. Bob Backlund's your champion. Jimmy Snuka, Blackjack Mulligan, Cowboy Bob Orton, Pedro Morales, Greg Valentine, Adrian Adonis, Jesse Ventura, Tony Atlas, Ivan Putski, and Chief J Strongbow. Over in the NWA, and of course the NWA had all these territories. I'm looking at the NWA ratings right here. You've got Ric Flair, Sergeant Slaughter, Ron Bass, Mr. Wrestling 2, Roddy Piper, Bruiser, Dory Funk Jr., Dusty Rhodes, David Von Erich, Tommy Rich, and Harley Race. Some interesting tag teams at number 1, Mr. Fuji and Mr. Saito, and at number 4, Dory Funk Jr. and David Von Erich. Ken Lucas and Rick Morton were at number 10. So much fun with these things. You have the Tattler. Like a lot of this stuff, if you look, like this is 1982, but the Tattler kind of has like a 1970s feel, because things don't change on New Year's Day. A decade kind of starts off with the stuff of the previous decade, the flavors, the Nightmare World of the Dream Machine. That seems like a very interesting article. Once again, under the management of Jimmy Hart, the Dream Machine has captured the Mid-America title and defends against Jimmy Valiant. Very exciting. Dream Machine. I think, was this Phil Hickerson? Was that who the Dream Machine was? I've heard Cornette tell stories about the Dream Machine. This looks pretty damn good. Wow. These are really good pictures. These are really good photographs. The final conflict, Morales and Valentine. Very exciting. Really good photographs here. Bubblegum music. I was just watching a Honky Tonk Man interview about Jerry Lawler, his brother. The night a rookie gave Nick Bockwinkel hell, and guess who the rookie is? It's Ricky Morton. I just watched Ricky Morton wrestle on that NWA show against Homicide, and he's still doing this thing after all these years. So good for Ricky Morton. This is pre-Rock and Roll Express. Unbelievable. And really, that would probably be a really good match to watch. Ricky Morton versus Nick Bockwinkel. It is a shame that some of the best wrestling matches in the early 80s especially were not videotaped. Before everything was a TV show or a pay-per-view, you had like house shows. They actually meant something. Okay, fans, for viewer discretion is advised. The apartment wrestling, boy, kinky. These 1970s, 1980s women. This was always provocative. This ad, battling girls, we all knew, because that's one way to beat the opponent is to bite her ankle, bite her heel, bite your opponent's heel. It's a good battling move for these vixens, these apartment wrestling vixens. Always bite your opponent's heel. Let's see what else. Bruiser Brody. He just lost his American Championship. He's dejected. I mean, I can understand that. That American Championship, the American Championship, very respected. And now you got George Steele in Georgia teaming up with Roddy Piper, Tommy Rich, I guess. Unbelievable, folks. So much fun. So much fun. And you got a little bit of comparison of Tommy Rich and Lou Thez. I don't know if there's much comparison as far as length of title reign, but Tommy was very popular. This was always fun, gentlemen. God, can you imagine having a time machine and going back and getting all these magazines for only $2 each? Unbelievable. Look at all those back issues. $2 each, folks. Unbelievable. Of course, $2 would get you further back then than it would now. And if you're done with your wrestling for the day, you've got your magic power of witchcraft. I mean, that's always fun. Adam just wrote a novel, so we'll read it. But first, let me just do some quotes. Are your fans important to you? It's a very interesting question for these wrestlers, and they all took their time to give good answers. Are your Fans important to you. Let's see what some of these wrestlers had to say about it. Michael Hayes, without the beard and mustache, says, I learned a lot about the fans when I was a Freebird and saw how much their cheers gave our opponents. And I saw how much help their cheers gave our opponents. Now that I have heard those cheers, I will never go back to being a rule breaker. The fans have become a very important aspect of my career in life. What a liar. He did go back to rule breaker. David Von Erich says, the fans. Everyone screams about how the fans deserve this and the fans deserve that. Well, the fans haven't been too kind to me. They haven't been very understanding, but I'm Southern champion right now. And if the fans don't understand success, well, that's their problem. Very vicious words here. Very mean. By David Von Erich. He was in Florida. He was under the influence of Dory Funk Jr. We have to give him a pass. Mil Mascaras thinks, I think very highly of my fans, and everything I do helps me maintain a level of integrity and sportsmanship that I believe my fans respect and admire. At least I hope so. It's something I strive for, and I hope that my fans understand that I work what I work towards in wrestling. Gee, running for office here. Gee whiz. Meanwhile, Dusty Rhodes and the Sheik getting down and dirty somewhere in wrestling, maybe Detroit. Looks very exciting. Dusty Rhodes and the dreaded Sheik. Now let's get to Adam's point. I don't know. Dave Lagana has a lot of the older NWA on VHS in his storage in California. I've seen a video of him talking about it. I'll share it to your page. It was a no DQ video. I even got Aaron Riff to ask him a question about it. Well, Dave Lagana, is he still with the NWA right now? I know that he was a top guy there. He actually tweeted me once. Nice. It seemed like he was trying to be a nice guy. I'm not sure where we were with that, Adam, what the question or the context was. But Dave Lagana is a guy who's important in the world of pro wrestling. And so I hope he's doing well. And also, Aaron Rift is a good guy. He runs that No DQ website and the new No DQ fan page. And he once used my video on his one of my videos on his channel. It was over 11 years ago, the NWA video library. Yeah, I mean, every once in a while, like on this NWA pay-per-view last weekend, you saw Terry Funk and Harley Race, some clips from them from like 1972, I want to say. So there's a lot of stuff. All right, folks. Well, look, I appreciate you checking in. I will I have more things to unravel, more surprises. The NWA, when I sit down and put my thoughts together about this NWA pay-per-view next day or two, I'll do that. So Saturday, this coming September 3rd, is National Movie Day. $3 gets you into the movie theater throughout the country. I bought a ticket to see Jaws in 3D. I'm very excited about that. And I did see, for the second time, Rogue One, a Star Wars story last night. A lot of action in that movie. Here's my synopsis, criticism. I might do a full video about this. These new Star Wars movies are very well made, but are they a lot of fun? And I just don't think they're fun. I mean, I think that they're well shot, they're well acted, they're well executed, well written. Are they fun to watch, or do you just watch them because you feel like you have to because it's a Star Wars thing? So I'll leave you with that, folks. Subscribe to Mike Messier YouTube channel. Buy all my books, MikeMessier.com. Go there and click, and then you buy books, and everyone's happy. Wrestling with Sanity, the Pro Wrestling Trivia book. If you have Kindle Unlimited, a lot of them are free to get for free. That's how free works. Okay, everyone, have a good Thursday.